The 224th Imperial Armored Division was part of the Imperial Army who were slugging it out on the muddy swamps of Mimban, fighting against a counterinsurgency during the events of Solo: A Star Wars Story. As Imperial Army, they were made up of conscripted soldiers, serving as the latest evolution of the Clone Wars era Mudjumpers, which together with Mimban were referenced in an episode of the Clone Wars.
You're listening to the Grand Army of the Republic broadcast, the voice of the Outer Rim. This next one goes out to the Mudjumpers of the 224th, slugging it out on Mimban. Keep your heads down and your seals tight, boys.
Corporal Han Solo was thrown into the 224th shortly as he was kicked out of the Imperial Academy for apparently having a mind of his own. He of course ended up defecting the first chance he got. We also know of Tobias Beckett, Val, and Rio Durant that also fought in the 224th under disguise in order to try and steal an Imperial AT hauler. But what about the other members of the 224th who either joined by choice or desperation like Han? In this video, we'll take a look into some of them, especially those that make a quick appearance in the movie amidst all the chaos on Mimban. The division was led by Zodel, who was a human male and commander of the 224th. Unfortunately, not much is known about him other than he had dark hair and light skin, and issued orders from the safety of Camp Forward rather than be on the battlefront. His second in command was Lieutenant Boloden. Staz was a major of the 224th. He led the division on the battlefield during the Mimban campaign, and was killed by an explosion as he yelled to his troops to advance on the enemy. Corporal Danif Nodar was a Karada Academy graduate, and originally was deployed to Marka until she was later rotated out to Mimban due to insubordination. She saw the transfer to Mimban as a punishment and took out her sour-tempered frustrations on the Mimbanese. Nodar's ferocity in combat even unsettled her squadmates but impressed her superiors. Private Callum Waslow was known as a brawler in and out of class at the Myomar Academy. However, his troublemaking tendencies have earned him a series of terrible assignments which resulted in him now fighting on Mimban. Corporal Charlu Greslin was unable to afford tuition fees to study at the Shea Tepani University, so like many others in his situation, he joined the Imperial Army in return for a military scholarship. He was already serving his second tour on Mimban as of the time of Solo. Corporal Wesgar Odri was an Outer Rim cadet from a world devastated by the Clone Wars. Because he saw no future on his home planet, he signed up for Imperial service in hopes of seeing the galaxy. Gorgie Sandam was a medic of the 224th Division, who ended up rescuing the injured Private Bokrit Humphreys on the battlefront, which he eventually ended up tending to his head injuries. Specialist Gillian Finders and Sergeant Matuso Trodu, also medics for the 224th, both tended to a heavily concussed Corporal Jacoby Sanwright after an explosive assault by Mimbanese guerrillas saw him effectively be taken out of the battle. Of course, there were still more soldiers and medics that sacrificed everything for Imperial oppression on Mimban, but this video only covered those that were included in the Solo visual guide. But that'll do it for today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more Solo content that we'll be covering for this week. This is Zen7 from Silo, signing off.